So, good morning, trainee. Welcome to this orientation. So, by the way, I am Marimar Okba, your trainer for this orientation. So, today I am going to discuss about your qualifications that you choose, which is the Housekeeping Ncii. So, by the way, what is Housekeeping Ncii? So, Housekeeping Ncii qualification consists of competencies that a person must achieve to prepare guest rooms, clean the public areas and equipment, provide housekeeping services to guests, provide valet butler services, and handle intoxicated guests, and also laundry linen and guest clothes to a range of accommodation services. So, in this qualification, there are 10, or in the competency-based training and competency-based learning, there are 10 principles of the competency base. So actually, this competency based training and competency learning are the two most important thing in the TVET, or shall we say technical vocational educational training. So what are the 10 principles of competency based learning? So first is all learning expectations are clearly and consistently communicated to students and families, including long-term expectations and general expectations. So the second one is students' achievement is evaluated against common learning standards and performance expectations that are consistently applied to students regardless of whether they are enrolled in traditional courses or pursuing alternative learning pathways. So the third one is all forms of assessment are standard-based and criterion reference, and success is defined by the achievement of expected standards, not relative measures of performance or students-to-students comparisons. So the fourth one will be formative assessments is measure learning during the instructional process, and formative assessments results are used to inform instructional adjustments, teaching practices, and academic support. So the fifth one is summative assessments evaluate learning achievement, and summative assessment results record the student's level of competency at a specific part. So the sixth principles of competency-based learning is academic progress achievement are monitored and reported separately from work habits, character traits, and behaviors such as attendance and class participation, which also monitored and reported. So the seventh one is academic grades communicate learning progress and achievement to students, and families and grades are used to facilitate and improve the learning process. So the eighth one is students are given multiple opportunities to improve their work when they fail to meet expected standards. Then the ninth, or the second to the last, is students can demonstrate learning progress and achievement in multiple ways through differentiation assessments, personalized learning options, or alternative learning pathways. So the last principles of competency-based learning is that students are given opportunities to make important decisions about their learning, which includes contributing to the design of learning experiences and learning pathways. So those are the 10 principles of competency-based learning. So the next one will be the 10 principles of CBT, or so to say competency-based training. So the first one is the training is based on curriculum developed from the competency standards, of course. Then the second one is learning is competency-based or modular in structure. Then the third, training delivery is individualized and self-paced. Then the fourth one is training is based on work that must be performed. Then the fifth one, training materials are directly related to the competency standards and the curriculum. So the six principles of CBT is that assessments of learners is based in the collection of evidence of work performance based on industry or organization required standards. So the seventh one is that training is based on and off the job components and off the job components. So the eighth one is that the system allows recognition of prior learning, or RPL, or current competencies. So the second to the last one is that the systems allows for the learner to enter and exit program at different times and levels and to receive an award for competencies attained at any part. So the last competency, or the last principles of competency-based training is that approved training program are nationally accredited. Okay, so in your qualification, the Housekeeping Ncii, there are units of competencies comprising this qualification, and those are included the basic competencies, the common competencies, and the core competencies. So in the basic competencies, there are 4 unit of competency. First is that participate in workplace communication. Second is that work in team environment. Third, practice career professionalism. And the last one is that practice occupational health and safety procedures. So those are the basic competencies. Now let's proceed to the common competencies. So when we say common competencies, the 4 unit of competencies are those: develop and update industry knowledge, observe workplace hygiene procedures, perform computer operations, perform workplace and safety practices, And the last is provide effective customer service. So this one, the core competencies are the very important competencies in this qualification. So there are there are six units of competency. So first is that provide housekeeping services to guests, clean and prepare rooms for incoming guests, provide valet and butler services, laundry linen and guest clothes, clean public areas, facilities and equipments, and the last one is deal with or handle intoxicated guests. So actually trained in your qualification, what I'm going to do after this orientation is the demonstration. So the demonstration that I'm going to perform is the unit of competency, clean and prepare rooms for incoming guests. So the unit, this clean and prepare rooms for incoming guests, it is the unit deals with the skills and knowledge required from housekeeping attendants to clean and prepare rooms for incoming guests in a commercial accommodation establishment. So basically, since we don't have much time to perform the demonstration, so I'm going to perform the very critical part in this unit of competency, which is the making up, the bed making. So I'm going to perform the traditional bed making after this orientation. Okay, so do you have any questions, clarifications regards to our orientation today?
None so far.
Okay, so thank you. So remember, trainee, after our orientation today, after 5 minutes, we're going to demonstrate the baking up the bed. Okay, so since you don't have any questions, so that's all for today. Okay, trainee, I am going to perform on how to make up the bed. So this one, I'm going to perform the traditional bed making. So after I perform on how to make up the bed, then you will do it. Okay. So okay, let's start.
So what you're going to do next is you have to fold twice the second sheet, the wrong side fabric, and then the third and the last sheet.
Okay, trainee, it's your time to do the bed making. Okay, did you get it?
Yes.
Oh,
Mom, I'm done.
okay. Thank you. So, how do you feel today, Miss Janine?
I felt nervous.
Okay, by the way, it's normal. So, as your trainer, based on what I've observed in your performance earlier in bed making, so you did your best in the whole performance. However, there is the part in the bed making that you did not perform well, but all in all, it was a good performance. So, you did a great job. So now by that I will give you a grade of competent. Congratulations, Miss Janine.
Thank you. Thank you, Mom.